So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for round 2 at Imola Pitbox Racing League. Last week, we had an unfortunate event where we had a safety car bug. So the safety car was coming out every lap, or 2 or 3. Quite annoying. So we decided to red flag that action, and this week, we're going to give that another go. So this evening, joining us, we have Sharps Franco. Do you want to say hello?
Good evening.
Good evening works just as good. How this evening? You good?
Doing good. We had some very laps last week.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, with the safety car bug, hopefully that's all fixed and we can enjoy a good race.
Yeah, let's hope so. So, obviously we seen last week. Now, who would you say you're going to be looking at mainly this session?
Be interesting to see what Dodos can do. He was very, very fast in Q1. Unfortunately, he had an off in the next qualifying session and then in the race. But for me, it's got to be Snips. Qualified second on the medium tyres. He looked very quick indeed, so I think he's one to watch out for.
100% agree. So as we're just waiting at the moment, we're not actually going into a qualifying. We are going straight to a formation lap. Bear with me one moment and I will actually get the grid order we are going to be in. So for this race, in P1 pole position we have TTM LMB 17. Alongside him TTM Snips. We then have, now I keep getting this wrong. Mikey, which one was it? I will get this here. So, I believe we have Mickey SYX in P3 with TTM Kenyon in P4, followed behind by Belent, Sassy Matt, TTM Dodos, Bloody Rowden, Arc Mickey, Cycling Will, who again had a very unfortunate event last week, followed by Swayze Kai, PRL Ulster, Odd Jim, PRL Sid Rick, Mr. Indy, PRL Trev, Antho VF, and FTR Prezi. Now, FTR Prezi is currently starting P18 due to a qualifying ban from a last race. Last race, I don't mean the last race we tried at Imola. I mean the last race at Belgium. So we've just give the drivers a few minutes just to get their setups on and to get themselves ready for our laps around Imola. So the track of Imola is 3.048 miles long with a total of 19 corners. Typical average speed, this is going off real life statistics here, is 93.998 miles per hour. As we move into the formation lap, I'm glad everybody's turned up. Let's get a bit of an idea of what's going on.
Be a very difficult track at times.
Oh, I completely agree. Especially going through the likes of 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 straight into a hairpin at turn 7. But just before that hairpin is the end of Sector 1.
Drivers trying to get as much heat into those tyres.
They're definitely needed for a circuit like this. So as the drivers are making their way up, I'm going to have to say this. This is probably the one and only time we will ever see a Haas on pole position.
Stranger things have happened though.
I will give them their due. They did quite well today in qualifying. But good job this is a racing league, eh?
So as we see, Snips is on the mediums.
I believe Sassy Matt is the binage master. Well, I'm guessing this is Sassy Allen, right? Yep. Yeah, it must be Sassy Allen. If I remember rightly, didn't you bin it last week? Sorry, I had to say it. So here we go for the second time this season. 5 red lights. And away we go. Oh, that's a lovely image of the wall. So as we're going through, coming round into turns 3 and 4, the pack seems to have split out nicely. Oh, we do have a yellow flag towards the rear. And that is PRL Trev doing a bit of grass cutting.
Yeah, he had a little off there.
Yeah, some love. Oh, and into the gravel. He doesn't seem to be having a good time.
Start from LMB over a second ahead, over Snips already.
Yeah, that is some gap.
We have to remember Snips is on the slower mediums.
But
So
in the long run, it is going to work out better.
he can go longer distance into this race. It just depends how can he keep that gap up ahead on LMB as we have another yellow flag.
Ooh, where's that coming from? That looks like Cedric might have been involved in that. Looks like he was just coming back on track.
He might keep putting a lot of pressure on Snips into P2, trying to go around the outside. Just can't get it done.
It's a hard place to get the move done, though. So, Alan, the sassy thing, you probably know where that came from. And yeah, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. The track last week was rather difficult to drive on. Hence why we're running this race again. But it would be nice to see you racing again. I know people have lives, people might be busy. It'll be nice to see you racing again, though.
Kenyon up to P5 with the overtake, and we've had FTR Prezi in the pits. Not sure what for, but he's put on a set of mediums.
Oh, that looks like we've just had an off, maybe? Massive cloud of dust? Yep, we have. And that is TDM Dodos.
He just can't get any luck around this track, can he?
I mean, to be fair, coming through Aqua Minerali, that is quite a strange corner. Too much throttle too quickly, and you are going to spin.
I'm wondering if he's possibly got some damage to the car from that. It looks okay.
Yeah, the car looks fine. No end plate damage, no front wing damage. However, could the side pods be damaged? His rear wing? We just don't know. As we have PRL Trev going into the pits and onto a set of medium tyres.
Three 3.4 seconds now.
That
The
is
gap at the
exactly
front.
what I was looking at.
As Mikey gets into second place, ahead of Snips.
Yeah, Snips. There's no
Snips
there's
ran a
no
little
E at
wide
the
there.
end. So I've been told off by SAS Alan. I'm only allowed to call Matt Sassy Matt. So Alan is now just Alan. So as we're moving on to lap 4, we do have DRS enabled now, and it looks like Snips is going for Mikey with DRS assistance down the inside. He keeps that, regaining P2. Looks like we had a little bit of contact there from Mikey.
A little bit of contact, a little wide coming out of that corner too, for Snips.
Oh, he really had to put the brakes on there for Mikey, huh?
This could be a good battle between these two.
We also have, because they're holding each other up, we also have TTM Kenyon coming into the mix as well.
It's also helping TTM LMB was just flying ahead in P1.
Yeah, 5.8 seconds now. That's a massive gap which he's built up.
You're right, we do have TTM Kenyon now in the mix. So it's
Yeah.
a three-way battle for potentially P2 at the moment.
Well, plus we're just about to enter DRS. Snips is a bit knackered because he's got nobody to give him it. As we see Mikey DRS wide open, straight round, nice and easy. Is Kenyon going to do the same? His DRS wide open. He's really... Oh, I thought he was going to try and get down the inside of Snips there. Very well done not to. Seemed to have a much better exit coming out of turn 4 there. We'll see what happens.
As we have
with this.
PRL Ulster into the pits. Slow pit stop for him. Front wing change too. And he's onto a set of mediums. So he had some damage.
Oh. Potentially through a collision. As we had a yellow flag there. Trev just slowing right down, do you think? Or
Possibly. Ulster back out. He's on back out into P16.
I mean,
A very slow pit stop for him.
TTM LMB is about to lap PRL Trev. Wow. Quite a show.
How long realistically can he keep this pace up on those softs? 5 laps in already, onto lap 6.
Yeah. This
And he is
it.
flying.
He's going to have to stop soon. 6-second gap between him and Mikey. You know, so it's...
Again, this could work into Snip's favour. He is on the mediums. He can go longer into the race.
But he's
that's
going to
quite
be
a
pushing
gap.
his just as hard. He'll be pushing quite hard to keep up with the soft tyres in front and behind him.
And he has a
there
time penalty.
3-second time penalty now.
Multiple warnings.
And TTM
Dodos.
Dodos. It's these track limits. It has to be.
Snips is going to come under real pressure from Kenyon.
Yeah. It's... If you've noticed as well, Mikey is starting to get into the mix. His gap was 3 seconds. Now that's down to 2. Because of this 3-way battle we've got going on, they're slowing each other down for the rest of the pack to catch up. Which in the long run is going to make a great race. As we see LMB with nearly a 7-second gap to Mikey. I've confused myself now. Great.
One thing I didn't notice is bloody Rowden on the hard tyres.
Yes.
Currently in P7.
Yes. I do believe he tried to start on them on the last race. Let me just double check that. We only have the first 7, which was soft, medium, soft, 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 soft. So really, Snips was on the mediums from the get-go.
As we saw in the previous lap, TTM Dodos on the soft tyres has already pitted once, put in the fastest lap of the race so far.
And that's what you want. So let's have a look here. So 3 people with 3-second penalties. I think Trev's is due to moving off the racing line to let the lapped cars past. And as we can see, Belent has dropped 12 positions. Wow.
Also onto a set of softs. Mediums, I mean.
Yeah, Dodo's has that time of 1:17.5, 2/10 ahead of LMB. It's all to play for, really. All to play for right now. Let's just have a look at some of our other drivers. That gap to Mickey has increased again.
I have to say too, Anto VF, I think it is, currently in P6, 11 places he's moved up so far in this race.
Which,
a great start for him.
Exactly, hats off. Absolute hats off. Now, the person with the biggest advantage on this grid right now has to be bloody Rowden. As we see, Sassy Matt get a 3-second penalty as well. It has to be these track limits. That's all I can think of.
Snip's doing a fantastic job at the moment, staying under a second with Mikey and keeping behind him too.
Wow. So, lap 1 alone. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 collisions on the first lap. 3 track limits. So yeah, it does look like. Yep. So Snip's got his for multiple warnings on exceeding track limits. Dodo's got the same. Trev exactly the same. And then Sassy Matt exceeding them track limits. It's nice to see that LMB still has that 7-second gap on the tyres that he's on. They're mediums. 10 laps old now. Oh, we've had... okay, so it was Trev.
PRL Trev.
Yeah, slowing down.
Almost had a spin, managed to hold it.
And there's Indy with a 3-second time penalty. Wow! Time penalties are just flying out.
Track limits on Imola seem to be catching a lot of these guys out.
Well, that's it. And there's a 5-second for Odd Jim for speeding in the pit lane. Wow. Now let's check out Odd Jim's pit stop. Let's see what's happening here. Going from softs to mediums, no wing damage. That was a decent stop. That was a decent stop. Now the question is, what can you do with them mediums?
He's gonna have to try and go deep to get up into the points. P13 at the moment, but an 19-second gap now behind P12.
As we see another 2 3-second time penalties handed out. This three-way battle for P2, P3 is still ongoing, and this is great to see. As you see, both the Red Bull and the Aston Martin both crack open their DRS to try and catch up to Mickey, to try and get that P2 and P3 spot.
He's going for it.
Yep.
Bit of contact, and he's in the gravel.
Oh.
Managed to hold it. It's gonna damage. That would have damaged his tyres a little bit there.
Now let's have a check, make sure, see what... And it doesn't look like he has got front wing damage at the moment. However, he could have underbody, obviously creating more drag. Do you think that's going to affect?
He took the risk. He took the risk. It didn't pay off, but he's still up in P3. But he's out of DRS range now on Mickey.
Looks like he's climbing back into it quite quickly. Yep, back within DRS range just in time as well. You know, as they're coming down into turns 17 and 18, where you've got that DRS detection zone after turn 18.
DTM element, what a drive so far.
Do you know what it is so far for me?
Second gap.
So far for me, driver of the day.
He's had an incident-free race. He's not been involved in any overtakes, any battles. He's had a clear circuit in front of him, and he's flying. It's Snips.
Whew, Snips, sorry. Going for that overtake on Mikey again. This time he makes it stick.
And Keenan also gets Mikey.
Oh, wow. As we see, Swayze Kai getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Well, Sassy Matt appeared to be going in behind him as well, or in front of him. Behind him at the moment.
Slow pit for Sassy Matt. Had a front wing damage, so a new front wing for him and a set of hards.
Oh. Which, you know, most of these guys, they're still running quite old tyres now.
They are, and there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. You know,
yeah.
We saw last week with safety cars how common they are on this track.
Yeah, you're right. As Ulster gets a 3-second time penalty. Wow. Sector 2, is this PRL Trev? No, it's not. What has happened? TTM Dodos, has he spun again? It's taken his car quite a while to get back up to speed, so I'm potentially thinking that that has been another spinada. Did I really just say that out loud?
You did it.
Wow. We've got quite a gap forming up ahead now between Snips, Kenyon and Mikey. All out of DRS range from each other.
DTM Dodo's back in the pit for the second time.
Oof. Now, the question is, we have Antho VF within DRS range of Mickey. Can he utilise that once they get around 17 and 18 to get that nice long pit straight of DRS?
And he has had a great start to this race, up 11 places.
Exactly. He's got the pace. I think he's playing it more safe than anything, just to make sure he doesn't, you know, damage his car or DNF. Which, if we look back to last week, I can't even remember how many cars we had DNF'd by the time we'd hit lap 14. I don't even think we got to lap 14.
DRS for Anfield here, and he gets the pass.
As he makes the move on Mikey.
About 12 places in this race. What a drive for him.
Yeah. I might have to change my driver of the day. So the next closest we're looking at is FTR Prezi on Odd Gym. Within DRS range as they're coming out of the Aqua Minerale. No, they weren't. That was wrong. They were coming out of turn 14, 15. Don't know where I got that aqua minerale from. As he's still within DRS range, is he going to make up that time? Or Jim going defensive? Oh, he's left that wide open. Can he get round? He can't. He can't get the move on Odd Jim. Wow.
3 second time penalty for bloody Rowden.
Yeah. I think at this point it's going to be easier to point out who doesn't have penalties.
But he's still running good there on the hard tyres. The leader LMB into the pits and Keenan.
I'm sure Mikey has just left the session as well. It appears so because his car is ghosted. Well. Ooh, what have we had in Sector 2? Some kind of
TTM
incident.
LMV.
Ooh, we've had some kind of incident with FTR Prezi.
I have to say, yeah, Amphel VF now up 15 places running in P2. Still yet to pit though, I believe.
He is, yeah. I think. Let's have a look. Yes, he is still to pit. He is on mediums though. Could he be coming in this lap? No.
Of TTM, LMB and Keenan were both running up P1 and P3, I believe. Both out on the mediums.
Both stopped. Will they be able to take them tyres to the end?
The question is, how long is Snips going to stay out there on these mediums? Currently got almost a 7-second gap to P2 to Antho.
As he is approaching back markers as well. Ooh, massively running wide there. Oh, his engine did not like that. As TDM Dodos goes in with a new fastest lap, 117.4.
Don't count him out yet.
Oh, certainly not.
With pace like that.
Now, it looks like Antov might be struggling slightly on their mediums. It looked like he lost the back end coming out of that corner.
His holster goes off in Sector 3. He's had a spin.
Oh, I thought he was going to crunch the wall.
It looks like he's going to go straight into the pits.
Yep, he's got no front wing
Damage.
at all. No front wing at all. Now, let's have a look what kind of pit stop he's going to have.
Race leader Snips also in the pits. So Amphel leading this race.
He does need to make a stop though. As LMB does get back up to P2. What kind of difference is that going to make?
Snips.
So after the first round of pit stops, let's see what tyres people are now on. So we've got Anthov still on them 16 lap old mediums, with LMB closing the gap on fresh mediums. Bloody Rowden 16 lap old pots. Kenyon, Snips, Mikey, Mickey all on fresh tyres. Dodo's medium, Swayze medium. So really there's, I don't believe there is anybody else to actually have a pit stop now. Bloody Rowden and Antho. They're the only two. Odd Jim with a penalty of 14 seconds. He needs to play this safe. Another time penalty and he's getting a black flag. Mikey going for a move on Mickey. As they do a nice little switcheroo. Can he get that to stick? No, he can't. Prezi moves out the way. Quite an intense battle. Battle of the Mikeys. I'll probably get wrong for saying that.
Pick? Mikey or Mick?
For me, it has to be Mikey and the Williams. Why couldn't I think of the car name? I kind of want to watch this battle unfold a little bit. As Snips picks up another 3-second time penalty.
This is all playing into the hands of LMB here.
Yep.
No time penalty. He's closing in on Antho, and he is on fresh mediums.
Yeah, Antho still has to make a stop as well.
He's closed that gap. Took 2 seconds out of Antho on that lap alone.
It's the power of the tyre, my friend. The power of the tyre. Snips with a 117.3 though, making him the new fastest person on track as Mikey, Mikey goes down past Mickey, makes it stick this time. Oh no, he doesn't. What happened there?
Cedric slow. Does he have a problem?
Let's have a look with Cedric. I think he might have just been letting them pass because it would have been under blue flag conditions. Yeah, that was under blue flag conditions. So Cedric might have cost Mickey a place there.
So if Antho pits now, he should come out around P7, P8. Which still is a very good position for him, considering he's made up 16 places already in this race.
Yeah, and I mean, with still 12 laps to go, there is potential it could get back up to a podium finish.
But he may have to pit soon because the gap is closing behind him. All the drivers are closing in.
Snips with a 1 minute 16.7. As we're seeing Mickey try and chase down Mikey again. Just not enough time on that straight.
Cedric's had a spin again, I believe. He has.
Oh, Sid. What's going on, man? Do we have
He's back
damage?
into the pits.
We've got no damage. Sid. Ooh, wing change. Yeah, he did have some damage. Oh, we've had one of the Mercedes, I believe. Yep, one of the Mercedes. As the safety car is deployed. As we go on board with Cedric, it is PRL Trev. Unfortunately, it looks like he has went into the wall. Let's have a look. The carnage has cleared, but we have got a full course safety car. Now, is this going to play? This has played exactly into Antho's advantage as he comes back out on a pair of soft tyres. Making him remain in P1. Perfectly timed safety car, if you ask me.
Well, I'm sure the drivers wouldn't have wanted it, but for the viewer, this is it's going to be very entertaining bunching all these cars up now.
Oh yes, especially
it'd be a great time for Antho to pit.
He's already done it. He just came out the pit.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, he's on a fresh set of softs. So he's went medium to soft strategy.
This has played right into his hands. But he does have LMB behind him, who has been very fast all race.
Alan has just made a very, very, very good point. Having all of these cars bunched up with all of these time penalties.
think
Not a
some
good
people
thing.
with these time penalties are going to have to push hard from the restart.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break just while the safety car is out, and we will return.
I mean, if you want to just concentrate on the restart until that's calmed down and then come to me, that might make more sense. I don't know.
It's alright, we are live right now, and guys, as you've probably heard, we do have in the commentary box with us PRL Trev. Hello, Trev.
Good evening.
just going to point out as well, we've just lost Belente as well. He has just DNF'd. Not quite sure what happened there. We will need to find out. So, Trev, what happened, mate?
Oh, it was a nightmare from the very start. I outbraked myself into turn one and hit the back of Cedric, so was without my front left end plate, and trying to get round the track on this particular track with no end plate is impossible. So it took me forever, and then me and my poor eyesight, when I got to the pit lane, it was bright, and I went, wait, am I turning in this bit or the next bit? And I passed it, so I ended up having to do 2 laps without a wing. Eventually went in, got a wing change, so I mean, literally about 2 laps later, I was getting lapped, and I just had to lose so much time by getting out of the way to be lapped. I think by the time the race was 10 laps old, I'd been lapped by everybody, so it was a very, very depressing race for me. I think the only saving grace I'll take from it was a couple of people that lapped me once I'd got into my rhythm, and that I was kind of keeping pace with them for a good 3 or 4 laps, which, even as you know, I've gone to manual gears and gone to no traction just in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take that as something positive, but other than that, it was a very lonely and very boring and very, very horrible race for me.
Sorry to interrupt you there, as we have TTM Snips has just had a spin. Oh wow, he was one of the people to watch. So yeah, Trev, you know, you were doing great the first few laps. For your DNF, was it sort of you just clipped a curb? What happened there?
I was trying to get my mediums to go as far that I could then just put on a set of softs, because I knew I was already like a pit behind everybody else, but I was hoping to try and finish on the softs and at least make up a bit of time, and I just left it too late, and I think I'd been warned by Jeff that they were losing traction, and I ignored them because I know better, obviously.
Don't we all?
And yeah, I just caught one of the curbs, I think in the second chicane, and it just spun me and straight into the wall. So my apologies to everybody else, because I think I messed up quite a few strategies by pulling out the safety car.
These things happen, Trev. These things happen. Just as we were talking there, Snips had another spin, put himself into a wall. Somehow doesn't look like he's got any damage, but he is going into the pit lane. And there's another 5-second penalty for him speeding in the pit lane. That is him now black flagged from that session.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he had another time penalty just before that for corner cutting as well, which is unlucky because he was one of my driver picks for this race.
Yeah, I think it just sort of just went down. Not too great, really. Well, Trev, thank you very much for joining us. All right.
No problem.
We'll hope to see you next week.
I may have stopped crying by then. All right, guys. Have a good one.
We'll catch you in a bit, buddy.
Wait a minute. Bye now.
Ta-da. So, I've received word as well, Belente, his battery's actually died, and I slammed the car into the wall. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, Belente, but that is fantastic. I'll catch up with you at some point, my friend, as TTM Snips does leave the session. I think there has been some kind of incident. As I did see a message pop up. Let me just have a look here. Yeah. So it looks like we've had a bit of an on-track incident. So let's go up to the front of the pack and see what's going on, as we've got Antho with a time penalty now. When did he get that?
I must have missed that, but he has got that time. I mean, that's unfortunate because
he's got
keeping
LME
behind
right
him
on his backside, right up the gearbox.
He's done very well to keep him behind him these past few laps. He's had a few overtake opportunities, especially into turn one. Antho doing a great job, but unfortunately he has picked up that time penalty.
Very unfortunate, especially between P1 and P7. You know, look at the time difference. As we appear, what has went on with Prezi? We had a bit of a spin. I think we did just have a bit of a spin. As he's now going to get Cedric right on his gearbox. That DRS is going to open wide. It's not. Oof. It's nice to see that. Sorry.
Sort of got a pack of 5 cars up the front here, all sort of bunching up with Antho, LNB, Bloody Rowden, Dodos, and Keenan. All bunched up there at the front of the race.
Well, damn.
So still anyone's race here. Some fast drivers up the front.
Exactly. You know, these guys have the pace. Oh, we have an incident in Sector 2. Swayze Kai is in a gravel trap. What has happened there? My goodness.
See if you can get that car going again.
He's going to need to. Yeah, he's just trying to rejoin safely. Don't want to kill anybody, you know. So let's go on board with Kenyon as he's going to open the DRS on Dodos. In a bit of a DRS train here. With Bloody Rowden being at the front of it. As he loses a position to Dodos. Tries to defend off Kenyon. But Kenyon gets round the outside of him. And maintains the position into the first chicane. Fantastic move.
Just as we were watching that, LMB has retaken the lead of the Grand Prix.
Oh,
he just got past Antho.
Well, Antho, hats off to you, mate. Fantastic drive.
Driver of the day so far, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree.
But he now does have Dodos behind him, and we all know how quick Dodos can be.
Well, this is it. As we've had a Sector 3 incident. I'm not too sure what that was, but it has cleared now. Now, we need to check how many penalties are actually here now. Wow.
Well, we currently only have 3 drivers on the track yet to pick up a penalty, and that includes the race leader.
Yep, LMB penalty free, Cycling Will penalty free, who Cycling Will had quite a bad race last week.
I think he's made up for that this week. He's up 3 places from the beginning of the race, and
really
no penalty.
And Mikey is penalty free as well. Now, what I'd like to do is, I would like to quickly take this opportunity, and on behalf of PRL, I would like to wish Valente a very happy birthday. It was just a pity about your DNF, my friend. Okay, we will get you into the box soon, and we will have a chat with you. That is, if you're up for it, of course.
Alpha was not out of this yet. He is coming back at LMB.
Now, the fight I was interested in was Dodos and Kenyon, but there's too big of a gap now.
I think Kenyon may have had a wide corner.
Potentially,
he was under a second at one point. It's now up to almost 3 seconds.
Wow. Unless Kenyon can find some pace within this last 2 laps.
Xantho has the DRS on LMB.
Oh, is he going to take him?
He is. What a drive.
He is.
What a drive from Xantho.
Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful overtake. 1 lap remaining as well. And we've had an incident in Sector 3, but that appears to be cleaned up now. As LMB is staying on the gearbox of Antho. Now this might change it in the last... Well, it is going to change it because of these penalties. So taking into consideration these penalties, Dodos is going to drop down quite a bit. Meaning, on a technicality, Kenyon is going to move up into P3. As he has a 12-second penalty.
Be very, very interesting if LMB picks up a penalty in these last few laps.
Well, that is it, yeah. You're right there. You are correct. As he opens up that DRS. There's only so much defending Anto can do. Yeah. I mean, he would have had the position on the time penalty in anyways. You know, even if it was the last lap. So let's have a look here. As Mickey gets past bloody Rowan. It does look like Dodo's is right on the gearbox of Anthov as well. But with that 12-second time penalty, on paper he's got P3. However, due to the penalties added on, that's going to push him back.
We're pushing back down to P6, I believe.
All depends because
did bunch up all the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey's got a 4-second gap behind plus 9 seconds of penalties. That takes him to 13
I didn't take
seconds.
The penalties into consideration there.
Yeah, so it's going to move him down to at least P4. As we have the line crossed. First position, TT LMB. Anthov, Kenyon, Dodos, Mickey crossing the line, bloody Rowan. As Cycling Will comes round the final corner to finish in P7. Sassy Matt. We then have Mr. Indy coming across the line. Our Jim. He had a 10-second gap. So Mikey does take that position from our Jim. And Prezi, Ulster and Sidric, because their lap cars have already finished. And then we have Swayze Kai coming in. There we go. So, thoughts on that?
Thoroughly deserved winner in the end, I think, from LMB. He led from the start, raced ahead. The safety car made it very interesting, but Anthol was, I gotta say, driver of the day. He was fantastic.
Yep, exactly how it is. So, we are going to be joined by the race winners. I say winners. The first 3. I am just inviting them at the moment. You bear with me a second. So there's 2. And I just need to get Antho. So, first of all, we have the man that finished in P1. That is TTM LMB.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations on the Waste Rin.
Thank you, mate. It was a bit dodgy at the end, scary. Yeah, happy to come through with it, mate. In the end, a bit annoyed the safety car came out when it did, but what can you do?
We were there with you the entire race, and wow, you were great.
Was he lagging for? I didn't catch a word of that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for some, it disappeared on us. So I was saying, you put up a very good fight. Very good. a lot of the time, you were backing up, and thankfully you did have that.
That's cutting out quite a bit.
Yeah, mate,
Yeah, no
I
idea
can't
what-
understand, son.
Sorry. I'm trying
Don't
to get this
apologise,
sorted.
it's absolutely fine. I got the gist of it. Basically, I mean, the first part of the race was really good. I felt really strong at the start, and I got a massive gap. And then I was coming up on the mediums to be quite a way ahead, I think. And then when the safety car came out, obviously, Anto hadn't pitted yet, so I was just kind of, I wanted to go for the move on the first lap after the safety car, but I didn't risk it because I didn't want a DNF. And then I saw at one point he picked up a 3-second penalty, so I thought at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I have to, pass him, but I wanted to get it done on track. And then we had a nice little battle back and forth. I lost quite a lot of VRS on one of the laps. I think I burnt something like 50% down the straight trying to go for it when I should have just saved, really. And then I think it would have been fine to maybe pull out. I just couldn't break him out of my DRS, and yeah, we had a nice little battle near the end.
It was
Then,
fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. I love that when it's good, clean racing like that as well. And yeah, I just got the move done on the last lap, and I was just trying to get as close to him before the DRS zone on the last lap, just to make sure I got ahead. But yeah, I think I only picked up one warning the entire race, so I was quite happy from like a cleanliness, I guess, from my side. But GG to Anto and Kenyon, both drove brilliantly. Then.
Yep. I mean, you're completely right. Is my audio better for you now, by the way?
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Awesome.
a little bit, yeah.
That's what I like to hear. So yeah, you had an absolutely smashing start, and then obviously the first round of pit stops came. There was a few moments when even sort of my heart was in my mouth, So, mate, again, really well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we
Better
are
racer.
going to move on to our P2, and that was Antho. I'm hoping he has included
guys.
his audio.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus, that was loud.
So well done, mate. P2, fantastic race.
yeah, that was a hard one.
Yeah.
Hard-fought one.
I mean, within
I started from P17 and I had a lucky safety car on the lap I was supposed to pit. And it gave me a chance for the win.
I mean, for that reason, starting P17 and obviously finishing in P2, with the potential, if you didn't have that 3-second time penalty, potential P1, you've been chosen as the driver of the day from us. Absolutely fantastic drive, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a good fight with LMB at the end, but at the end I had no ERS, and even without penalty, I think he would have got the win.
Exactly.
But GG to LMB and GG to Kenyon for the podium.
Yeah. So thank you very much. We hope to speak to you again at some point, Antho.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And last but not least, we have TTM Kenyon P3 today. Fantastic
What is
race,
that?
mate. Well done. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Good. Bit of a tense race.
Few hairy moments, but I'm good. little bit of a brown stain in the underwear.
Might want to get them changed as soon as possible, mate.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely fantastic. Well done on the race. We're hoping to see
Thank
a
you.
bit more of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got stuck in a DRS train at the start, and then I couldn't get through it. And then the safety car just came out completely the wrong time for me.
Yeah, that is one thing
Oh,
that Belente was saying. This safety car is really going to mess up a few people's strategies. Which,
Well, I was going to the end on the mediums, and obviously in the end I couldn't. And if I did, I would have just ended up,
just
target on my head, bidding me on sight, overtake this guy.
So, it was probably a good idea to switch.
Yeah, I mean, everyone else did, so I had to really.
Well, that's it. So again, congratulations on the P3, mate. I'll let you go and celebrate.
Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes round 2 of the PRL League this week from Imola. We shall see you next week where we are at Bahrain. So thank you very much from me, Sinister, and thank you very much from
Lee Franco,
Hey.
and see you at the next race.
Yeah, we'll catch you later, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy.